Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along. It is Thursday evening, and we have our usual live stream here with the WEC Experience Online Championship here in Le Mans Ultimate. It is round 4, and we are at Sao Paulo, Brazil. Conditions here are due to be very, very mixed. And, yeah, intrigued to see what this race has in store for us. I don't have particularly high hopes going into this one. Oops, Daisy. Didn't mean to change the song there, but we're going to roll with it. Yeah, don't have particularly high hopes for this one. Don't feel 100% settled in the car. The conditions that I've been practicing have mainly been in the wet. And because of that, it's hard to figure out a setup because the conditions are forever changeable. But we'll go with it and we'll see what we can do and hope that we can get a good result here in split 1. It's good to see you here, Astro, and everyone else joining in the live chat. Do say hi. Hope you're having a good week and gearing yourselves up ready for the weekend. And pretty shortly, we shall be getting underway with the session here. I'm going to go ahead and load up the setup real quick. Practice looks like it's going to be dry, as should qualifying. That should be dry as well, but what actually happens after that, well, we shall see. We shall see. The race could be very, very wet, or at least it looks like there's going to be rain on the way at some point in the race, so we are going to have to contend with that and deal with the changing conditions. This might actually be the first race where we kind of go from dry to wet, then possibly back to dry again. All the other races that we've done have kind of started off wet and then gotten drier. So this might be the first time that we really truly experience the kind of the wet line that has been recently added, which is making me a little bit more nervous because it's difficult to find out where the grip is. Here in Le Mans Ultimate, it feels like the dry line or the rubbered in line is very wide, and therefore it's pretty easy to run into situations where the car, well, basically run that line even though you're trying to be off it. But we'll see. Hey Thunders, hey David. Hope you're both doing all good. We've got 2 minutes or so here in this session before we get underway with the race. 10-minute qualifying, an hour and 40-minute race. It is saying there's a 100% chance of rain in that race session, so that'll be interesting. It's in split 1 of 3, and of course we're in the GT3 class as well, driving the Aston Martin Vantage GT3 Evo. Almost said Ford there. Almost. Very, very close, but that is not the case. That is not the case. Evening, Luca. Hope you're doing all good. Just having a look through the names here. We might as well bring up the game so you guys can see as well. Yeah, some big names in here. Again, Kulf, Honzik, Boothby. Chris Moorhead? Recognise that from last week. Of course, we've got Charles as well. Leon's in here, who we had a good race with on Monday evening in the LMP3 class. Valentin Barrier, he's going to be very quick. Alexander Hanna as well. Also another very, very fast driver. So I'll be happy if we can make it into the top 10. 22 of us in total. And there's a whole bunch of hypercars in here as well. 16 of them. So traffic is going to be very much an issue here around this track, which shall make the whole process of the track drying and the dry lines and trying to avoid those and all that sort of thing a whole lot more interesting. Ah, Luca, you're the guy who added to the team. Amazing. Good to put a name to a game attack. Right, here we go. We're just about to roll into the qualifying session. I need to sort out my fuel ratio. Don't know how much fuel I'm using per lap. I don't know what the strategy is going to be here in this race. We're kind of just going to effectively wing it and hope for the best because of the mixed conditions. It's almost pointless trying to plan a strategy when the rain is going to come along and absolutely butcher our progress there. Right. I'm going to go down a single click there. And I think we'll be good to go. Yeah. Alright. Let's do that. Head out onto the track. Barry's got a stop-go penalty already. No doubt for leaving the pit lane. Too much fuel at 6 laps. Let's do that. It'll probably readjust once we've done like a lap or two, but I don't want 6 to start off with. 6 laps worth of fuel to start off with. So this session should be really dry, but obviously we've got to get tyres up to temperature and all that sort of thing. And this will actually be my first running in dry conditions in this car, so that'll be interesting. I have no idea what the setup's going to be like. Could be it could be terrible. It could be good. We shall see. It's very similar to the Fuji setup. That's for sure. Haven't really applied some of the learnings from Le Mans to this one because Le Mans was such a low downforce setup, and there were some certain things in there that I did that kind of suited Le Mans. So I'm hoping that we can manage to make the setup work and survive here. But we shall see. Hopefully we can get to doing that corner completely flat by the time when the tyres come up to temperature. Yesterday's ELMS race, Spa race, yes it was. So ELMS will be at Spa for the next round. We're at Sao Paulo here for WEC Experience. Not quite flat there. Wheel calibration script to use the driver rotation checked. I can't remember. I think so. There's definitely quite a bit of oversteer in the car. There's one change that I think I'm going to have to make already, maybe. No, we can't do that flat. I wonder if other GT3s are doing that flat out. Alright, 35.9. I doubt we're going to be anywhere near that. No, we're not. .4. Need to get my braking point sorted for that corner. Track limits are strict here, so we're going to be invalidating laps pretty easily. Hey, Doc. How's it going, mate? Okay, one good thing already is that there's plenty of time to be found here around the track, which is nice. Why was the warning purple? Because the purple indicates strict track limits. So it's going to invalidate the lap pretty much straight away, regardless of whether you gain time or not. Which is a little bit annoying and frustrating, but that's the way that this championship is set up. Okay, getting closer to being flat, but still not quite. Indeed, Luca, it is. That 35 is good in quali. I don't think I'm going to be anywhere near a flat 35. Okay, that's pretty good on the braking point. .3 seconds to find. It's a lot of time. Shouldn't have touched the accelerator there. Sent me wide. This is going to help bump us up the grid, but still quite far back from where I want to be. .35.7, okay. Had a little bit of time preparing for the race, Leonardo. Luca, sorry. Not much. She's gone. Yeah, not as much as I wanted. Now we're just absolutely destroyed that set of tyres. We're quite far down the order, but it is what it is. Tyres are absolutely ruined. 89%. Spinning at that sort of speed. Gonna absolutely destroy them. Right. I'll make some of these changes. I'll leave the rest as is, and then we'll see what actually happens with regards to the start of the race, whether it's going to start dry or not. One thing I want to do. .248. Okay, we are there or thereabouts in terms of straight line speed. Okay, that's all I kind of really wanted to check there. Looking back in the replay just to make sure that we're not massively down or anything like that. Right. Yep, they are a bunch of thieves. So this is going to be good fun. Fitting new tyres on the car. I completely forgot that we only have six tyres. Crap. And the side that I want to use them on is going to be on the wrong side of the car. Joy. Right, be right back. I'm going to go to the loo. Is it wet all the way through? No door.
Teams and drivers
It is not. It is going to. It is going to dry up. And it might even start dry. I have no idea what the fuel ratio is going to need to be for this. Tires start by the looks of things. Well, that one's going to be a new tire. I think I'm going to have to do that. I think that's going to be my best bet. In terms of tyres. Right, here we go. Here we go. Starting 20 FC, a lot of people did improve on their laps. It's a shame, but hey ho.
Formation lap has started.
To be expected when there was a good chunk of time to be found on the lap that I was doing when I chucked it away and spun. But let's see what we can do. Hopefully we can have ourselves a good race here and keep things clean. Aha, there's the rain. Didn't think it would take long. Right, stop the music, let's get ourselves ready. Alright, here we go. Waiting for that green light.
Green flag, green flag.
There it is in roundaway racing. Oh my god. That was a huge bit of lag there with one of the cars kind of warping through. Oh, that McLaren got a good drive coming off the exit there. Nip down the inside of Charles here. Oh. Both myself and Charles had a pretty similar idea on the McLaren there. There we go, around the outside. So we're up a few positions. See what we can do about the cars in front. Up to P16. Alright, good number of positions gained on that opening lap there. Cars in front battling away. Trying to ignore the fact that it's raining at the moment. It's a spinner behind. Yep, more rain coming soon. 15 minutes. It will get pretty wet in this race. Okay, just getting a little bit too aggressive with the throttle there. Trying to do what you do in the hypercars and MP2s are trying to keep it pretty much flat through turn 2. Doesn't really work here in the GTs. Obviously, gonna have to be mindful and careful of that. Dampness might be having a slight impact. It is 5% wet at the moment, as we can see. We are way too high on our fuel ratio, as you can see. One of the key things to make sure of in this car is that you don't activate the ABS too much. The car does not like that. Seems like we're faring better than McLaren in front in these conditions. And a few other cars. What are you doing, mate? You can't come across my nose when I'm there. Oh, that's a freebie. There we go, slipstream. Giving room at the apex, but we still got the better drive coming off the corner. So we should be able to hold on to this. Nice and steady now. Got to judge from the cars in front as to what these conditions are actually like. Oh dear. Oh my god, that rejoin. Definitely feel the differences in grip levels now. A whole bunch of people into the pit lane. So I'm really struggling for grip, as we can see. Definitely time for wets, I think. Yep. I think the Mercedes has the right idea there. Light line for that slightly grippier surface. Make sure we actually hit the pit speed limiter in time. We're into the pits and where's our box? Hopefully Have a nice clean entry. We're in. Okay. Oh my god, this is a chaotic pit lane. What is all this? So many people. Right. We are out, just about feeding ourselves back into the fast lane without any issue there. Wonder how many people did that without refueling. It seems like the change onto the wets on the lap prior was probably the right call. However, what is the grip for them like now? How much of tyre have they taken out of themselves? That is the big question. They probably just gambled, thinking that it was probably the right time to go. Plus, if you're doing a strategy different to everybody else, there's always chance of it paying off and working out in your favour. Potentially. The thing is, they are now going to be on tyres that are more worn than what I'm on, so taking like 1% off already. They're probably down like 2-3%. So we'll have a tyre advantage for the entirety of the stint, which will obviously pay dividends when the track actually does get even wetter than it currently is. Just got to feel that grip and hope that the hypercars are sensible as they work their way through us here. Oh, this is very close with the beamer. A little bit chaotic with the hypercars. Nip down the inside there, thank you. There we go. Position gained. Lovely stuff. Here comes more. That's pretty scary, seeing the BMW coming pretty quickly towards Maria. Oh, BMW gone. Give the hypercars room here. Allow them to feed on fruit. Oh dear. Hard to tell if it's alternate lines or people just going off and going deep. Oh dear, that hypercar's not having a good time behind us. Oh, hold on to it, Charles. Yep, I think he does. Whereas the majority of my practice has been in the wet, so the setup's kind of accounting for that. So I doubt he's going to fight this one. Yeah, indeed not. Well, I'm trying to find the grip. It's fairly difficult. The good thing is, obviously, I've had experience in the wet, so I know, even running the normal line, what I can kind of get away with. The interesting thing is there are more cars on track than I'm used to in practice. So that's obviously making things a little different. But there's definitely a couple of spots where, like in those corners, that line that I just took there certainly does feel more grippy and provides an advantage in terms of time over the more normal traditional line. It's just in some spots you kind of almost can't avoid the traditional line, so you have to work around it and kind of set the car up in the corner to optimize your way through. It's basically just trying to straighten up the exits as much as possible, really. Yep, exactly. Exactly that, Luca. Just try and round the corners off a bit more. Or should I say, square them off. Not round them off. Not really working there. Getting a bit too greedy with the throttle. Feels so pedestrian, like. The good thing is we're not really losing much time to the leaders. They're doing 46.9s. I say that as I go and do a 48.0. That wasn't a good lap. In comparison to the previous ones where they were low 47s. Still, we'll just focus on the cars ahead and try and catch them. Steady input, stay slows. Yep, indeed. So I'm just trying to be as smooth as I possibly can be. Feels like I'm getting more grip out of the car that way. Hopefully this is almost in the 48s. Track is definitely getting wetter. Yeah, the Aston was good in the wet in ACC, you're right, without that. I don't think it's quite as strong and superior here in LMU as it was. Doesn't feel like it is. Feels more like the driver kind of makes the difference in how they drive the setup. Because things are a lot more dynamic here in Le Mans Ultimate than they were in ACC. At least now they are, anyway. Oh, when you get on that line, it feels nice. Especially over those around you who aren't taking that line, you take a good chunk of time out of them. It's annoying that my badge still shows as a rookie down in the relative. So I have become a trusted driver in the last couple of races. Catching the 3 cars in front, which is nice. We'll do hypercar. Trying to really straighten that exit off there, coming off turn 12. It's kind of the Lewis Hamilton line. Does mean you can get harder on the throttle on the exit on the run up the hill. Provides us with an opportunity. Oh, sorry. We're through. This is where he's going to start learning that line and following us. Oh, car in front, gone off. It's going to help us close up a lot. Oh, what such an intriguing race this is turning out to be. How long is this rain going to last? That's the thing. It's saying it's raining for the next 8 minutes or so, and then it's going to stop. By the looks of it. going to really be able to take my usual line here. I'll let them go underneath. Oh my god, look at that car slide. Just four-wheel drifting around. Must feel horrible in a hypercar where you're used to so much grip and downforce and have all of that pretty much taken away from you. Right, Moorhead looks like he's got some pace. To be fair, a lot of the cars in front look like they've got some good pace. That was a better drive coming off the exit there, that's for sure. Go on then. Just kind of happy to let you go through that. Oh, spinning Porsche. These two are teammates. And one just spun in front of the other. Oh, miscommunication there between the GT3 and hypercar. GT3 wanted to kind of take a bit of a wet line whilst the Porsche was trying to come on through. Interesting things going on there. The yellow flag. Oh dear. Contact between the GT3 and the Hyper. It's the last thing you want in the middle of the corner in wet conditions where there's less grip, because a simple tap like that could quite easily result in one or both of you spinning. Oh, that was a little bit scary with that hypercar there. Yep, exactly that door. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm basically just trying to minimise the time that we're actually side by side and give them a clear route through. Just to reduce that chance of risk. Yeah, not close enough there, mate. There's a bit of a dry line starting to form now as well. Do we have the run on the Ferrari here? Looks like as we're picking up some slipstream. Not quite able to do anything with it though. Very close to the back there. Yeah, dry lines now really starting to form. Oh no! That's like the most pathetic slow speed little spin ever. Obviously, once you go onto the grass, that's it. It's frustrating because we were right there, just outside the top 10. Now the fact that this drying line has started to form, there's a bit more of a clear route for everyone else as to everyone to take. It kind of takes away the advantage that we had of our lines being slightly different to everyone else's. It's now flat through there. People aren't experimenting coming through these corners here anymore. So now it all depends on who's got the tyre grip, who's got the tyre life, and who can avoid making mistakes. Still driving to the conditions. So if we were still with that yellow Ferrari, we'd now be in the top 10 as well. Steady. All those rear tyres. Trying to focus, I'm trying to. Oh, battling up ahead. Battling quite hard. Annoyingly, Chad has got through. He was the fastest of the lot of them, although that's chaos and calamity. No, no, no. I'll take that. First hit. Track limits. Right, that dry line is the way to go. Go on, give us slipstream here. We are through. Alright, let's get the two in front. Oh, wet stuff. Right, if we can avoid touching the damp parts of the track, I think we should be good. Yeah, I could definitely get full throttle earlier there now. I really enjoy it when it's mixed condition races like this. Really makes for interesting tactics of seeing what people do to try and find time over each other, and it's nice to see the dynamicness come into Le Mans Ultimate here and become more realistic, believable, and intuitive in how to drive in these sort of conditions. Does a little bit, yeah. Although, I've not really felt like I needed to get a proper wet setup at any point in Le Mans Ultimate. It feels like the dry setups still work just fine. We can consider dries. Absolutely. Feels like it might be a bit too early for that, though. It's the moment you have to go offline, you're on the damp stuff. And there's no grip. Just hoping it's going to stick with us there. They should heat up reasonably quickly because of the fact that they've had a heat cycle through them. So they're not going to be too bad, but that is definitely a good point, Luca. Oh. Just a fair amount of ground on that lap. It's a Porsche with the old Porsche 919 hybrid livery on it. I think. Which look pretty cool. Question is, when do we jump for the dries? It's got to be soon, surely. Yeah, it is. I think. Well, he's in fact the only one. It's Barrier who didn't take fuel in the pit stop and missed what wet tyres. So it'll be interesting to see what his pace is going to be like. That is true, but he does have E2 half a second behind him. He's obviously going to have to take on a load of fuel, which is going to cost him time. It's not often you see nice otter. It's also not often that you see it in a Audi LMP1 hybrid livery as well. Your old R18. We could definitely brake later for turn 1. Yeah, it'll be the next lap or two. I think a lot of people are waiting for him to pit and using him as a bit of a dummy, a bit of a marker as to what sort of pace there is on the dry tyres. Alright, it'll be this lap that Bellington's in. Oh, Koval's also blinked and gone in for a stop. Definitely seems dry enough in places. Yeah. You reckon? Oh, barrier's got to drive through. I say it feels close. Feels very close. Yeah, that's the other thing, pit lane. Gonna be damp, there's gonna be no heat getting generated going through there, and at the moment we're pulling away from barrier as well. He's obviously in the warm-up phase. I can see that Koval's also losing time as well. Struggling a bit of a tyre wear, as you can see. Is that barrier up to speed now? Oh, wrong gear. Don't think barrier's still quite there. This is going to be a good indication. Hannah's coming out of the pits here. So we're going to add a definitive visual reference to judge off of. Obviously cold tyres coming out the pits. It's a pretty crucial overtake to not lose time there. Copy that. Box this lap then. To 20. Go 72% just to be sure. Could have been a lot more aggressive there with the entry, but is what it is. Nice clean pit lane. A little bit forward. Quite a bit forward, actually. But yeah, I'm going pretty safe with the fuel here. Just to be sure. Because the track is obviously going to get quicker. Right, let's see what we can do. Try to get a bit of heat into the tyres there, but this is going to be a struggle. As you can see, no grip whatsoever. Ovals off. That's helped us massively. So obviously his tyres are up to temperature, so he's going to pass us pretty easy here, I think. But obviously he doesn't want to leave the dry line, neither do I. Come on, bro. I have zero grip at the moment. Just gotta be patient here with the tyres. They will come to us. Saying I've got 4 laps more fuel than I actually need, but the pace of the race is going to get quicker. Right, tyres are warming up more. Oh dear, that was... Oh my god. That was messy. Oh, come on, go. Yeah, he got caught on damp stuff on the inside of turn 1, which sent him deep. I tried, obviously, switching underneath, and then I had my moment of oversteer. Which then led to the contact between myself and the hypercar. Which is unfortunate. It was just annoying that the hypercar on the outside of turn 3 kind of placed themselves there, forcing me to the inside, and then didn't want to kind of try and squeeze through the gap between myself and the Mercedes, forcing me even further left onto the wet stuff, which obviously doesn't help with tyre temps. That's what I was getting annoyed at. Yeah, I think he just misjudged the grip, because he did lift, I think, to let me go, but didn't quite work. Too damp on the inside. Okay, we can... almost drive it like it's a completely dry track now. We just have to stay in the wheel tracks there. Hope this hypercar's tyres come up to temp fairly quick. So there's still a few people in the pits. Oh my god. Dumb stuff. Interesting the fuel that some people have gone with. I'm not sure they can... Some of them can make it. I know I've overfueled a little bit, but... Well, we've got 25 minutes remaining. Race pace is going to increase, as I mentioned earlier. Some people are definitely going to have to stop again. I had to turn a pretty uncomfortable amount there for turn 1 to actually make the corner. Oh, Koval's getting held up hard here by this Lamborghini. Oh. Come on. Oh my god. What? It's not what I wanted. Obviously. I mean, it's helped generate some more heat in the tyres, which is kind of nice, but taking some tyre life out of them. damn stuff. Oh, this Mercedes is a bit all over the place. Hopefully we can get back past them. Oh dear. Where is he going? What the hell is that about? I'm not too sure what to do here. Well, that's pretty frustrating. Thought so when they just turned hard left. Ah, that's kind of really ruined the race and the chance of a top 10. There is zero grip on the rear. Gonna have to go around again whilst doing this. Maybe even drive around it. Yeah, it would be the suspension damage. Annoyingly, I can't select just that. Chad has lost a lot of time. Probably gonna have to drive around this. I'm gonna lose too much time going into the pits to repair. It's possible to do, I think. Just gonna have to be really on top of the car and it wanted to rotate on us. At least there's a lot more rotation from the rear end now. Probably a bit more than I want, but... Oh dear, I heard cars in the wall. God. Probably absolutely ruining the rear tyres. Even the Alpine's crabbing. Yep, there's one in the pits. Two in the pits. Jardier's in the pits. Oh, what's happened to him? Oh. Poor guy. I'm so sorry. Probably got caught on the damp stuff. It's been in the outside of full lap, I think. Being in the pits. I see. I know. It would have just helped push us up deeper into the top 10. I mean, I definitely overfueled, I know that much, but I still think there are others who are going to need to pit. There's a guy on 20%, there's a guy on 21%. Most people are kind of mid 20%, 10 minutes remaining. Oh, it's gonna be tight for them. They might be able to do it. Using 3% a lap, so 12% less than me. Yeah, they might be able to make it. Depends if it goes the extra lap or not. There's no grip out here. Ah, damn, that's a shame. That sucks for him. Yeah, Charles is up in P9. So we could be P8. We didn't have the incidents. Oh, damn stuff. Another 4 or 5 laps to go. Let them go through. No point trying to hold them up. Anyone close? Charles is at 8%. Be able to do another about 2, maybe 3 laps. Otherwise he might need to pit, but I imagine he will come out in front of us, considering the amount of time that we've lost. Yeah, he said he lost, Dor said that he lost it coming through here and had a big slide, hit the wall, lost the wheel. Oh, it might have been up here actually. And 6, yeah. 6 and 7. It's probably the most likely of places for it to happen anyway, especially for a rear engine car. Or a mid-engine car. Because even in a front engine car, it happened to me in qualifying. A few people on 5%. Are they going to make it? Alright, so it would be 58 laps if we didn't get lapped by the leader there. As this is the final lap of the race for us. Oh, Charles is in the pits. He's having to do one more. That really sucks for him. He might actually even... Well, he's not going to lose the position to us. Yeah, it's a P12. He's going to finish in the end. Do you see him? Yeah, there he is. Just going off out the pit exit up there. Well, that was really unfortunate, that race. Definitely one of what could have been if it wasn't for the incident that we had. Obviously, I can't quite remember who it was. Their wheel ended up disconnecting, they said. Osborne. I think it was. Yeah, it was Osborne. It was a real shame. But hey-ho. It is what it is. It happens from time to time. P14 in the end. I might run that race again on Saturday. We shall see. It depends if I have time to do it or not. But certainly plenty to have a look in the replay of that one. Pardon me. All right, let's go back and look at the results and all that stuff. Although there are drivers still going around, so it's probably going to take a little while to actually come on in. Right. Let's see. Hopefully that was an entertaining race. Nonetheless, I was quite enjoying it when it was wet, like the proper changeable conditions. Once the dry line started forming, that's when I started to enjoy it less, because that became a bit more of an equalizer, I think, between myself and some of the people around me. When it was like properly wet, we were gaining time on the cars in front quite nicely by running a couple of alternate lines and a couple of spots. But yeah, that drier line basically meant that everyone kind of ended up going to that one line, because obviously it's quicker, more grip there. So everyone was following it, and the kind of pace sort of stagnated a little bit. There was also a stake in there as well, if I remember correctly, having a spin. Or half spin that put us down a couple of positions. And then, yeah, I think we went to the dry tyres at the right time. May not have been on the correct tyres, as Luca mentioned earlier. I saw in the live stream chat. I'll have to double check that one to see what ones the game was deciding to put me on. I was hoping that I hadn't worn into the tyres that I used at the start of the race too much. The front right and the rear left. And it was those ones that were getting put on. But yeah, Luca, you might have been right in that they did put the quality tyres on all round. Right. Let's take a look at things here. We had a pretty good start. P20 getting in a couple of positions. It's going a bit aggressive. So yeah, it's a couple of spots already, and then we did try on the McLaren here, but they held it. That was what I saw and completely freaked me out. Looked like someone just disconnected there right at the beginning, and that was a little bit weird. The McLaren got a really good exit off of here. He even had a proper good go at Charles, as you can see. If I remember right, actually, yeah, I managed to get on past. Good fun side by side. Putting respect between the two of us, we managed to get it around the outside there. Ooh, excuse me. I was just trying to hunt and find own grip in comparison to other people. This is where we got very close to that McLaren. Yeah, a bit of a wiggle there. Got a good battle going on up ahead. Nope, far from it, Charles. Oh. What happened to the Porsche there? There you go. Live by the BMW. Oh, that was a bit naughty there. Kind of sticking his nose in where it wasn't really warranted. That was a nice move. Oh, yeah. Shadow getting hit by Oval. Yep. Oh dear. That must have been pretty significant damage. This rejoin was atrocious. My god. Right, what's happened to Koval? Because, or is that his? Right, that's the look of his car. I say, because it looks like it's damaged already, but it's not. We had an incident somewhere along the line. It might be because the rejoin. So it didn't really affect me. So yeah, it was the stop for the wet tyres. So that's almost getting murdered. Poor BMW, what happened? Whoa! Bortoletto! Oof. Well, apart from hitting that inside wall, the pit exit, pretty much identical to the Bortoletto crash. And then, yeah, just no rear downforce, suspension damage. Bye-bye. Pain. Pain, pain, pain. Quite a nice move there on Charles, but left it and let us on through. Thank you. It was good fun chasing down the cars in front. Yeah, it was a tiny little tap there, but it's fine. That was us through. And then, yeah, we were catching Koval quite nicely. I think this is where I might have had my incident. Just here? Nope. Not this lap. I wasn't close enough for the move there. So it might have been this one? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there it is. Too much throw, tiny little brush with the wall. Yeah, I did get in that. Still on the wet tyres at this point. So where was our incident? Was it lap? So lap 38 is when we pitted. Not yet. I don't remember seeing Josh just in front of me. So is it this lap? You pitted 2 laps too early. Oh yeah, that was the one spin. I think that might have been after the hit. There was that little incident there. When we were on the wet tyres, so yeah, I think yeah, he was on the damper part, look. So you're not getting much braking from the inside tyres, and that just scared him forward. I knew it was happening, so I kind of opened up the steering to try and let him slip on through and come underneath, but he slowed a little bit more than I was anticipating, so there was a tiny bit of contact there, and then I just got too eager with a throttle and spun in front of that guy. So I drove only 20 minutes of practice before the race. Don't worry, I didn't get a huge amount either. And this was painful. I wanted this guy to come through a lot quicker here, but I had to move further over left before he would go and commit to it. So I managed to get that one back there. Right. Another spin there. Yeah, bringing the car just a little bit too far left and onto the damper stuff, and the car just, well, the tyres did not like it. Then this was interesting. Forward. There it was. This really sucked. Big slide there. If he didn't have that, we probably would have been on through, but yeah, that really sucked. And it just kind of rolled backwards and wasn't really too sure where to try and spin it around. So I didn't want to reverse into a wall. I want to give myself as much space and time as I possibly could. Very slippery over there. It was spinning up. And yeah, that was me with next to no grip. After that, with the rear suspension damage. So let's see if we can find Jardier's incident. Like that. Maybe this one. I need to double check his car. I'll have a look at that in a second. Yeah. Onto the damn stuff. Damn. Then he managed to drive it back? Yes, he did. Good job. Missing a front left wheel. Let's get going by Jardier. Right. What a guess. Pardon me. Alright, here's Osborne. Let's see what actually happened with him here. Straight, and then... Oh... And then, yeah, I think he retired back to the pits from here. Oh no, he drove. And then he did park it. That was really weird, the sequence in the disconnect there. Getting on throttle. Realizes that something's up as his wheel's gone straight. And then all of a sudden, when it kind of semi-reconnects, it just goes hard. Like full, that's gone full lock. So, yeah, it's gone 180, about 270, 250, 260 degrees there, turning hard left. I mean, when he was going over the circuit there, he's trying to hold the brakes. Obviously, it would have been ideal if he continued to hold the brakes here, but yeah, as soon as he's realised that it's going hard left and everything's not connected, it's he's on the brakes trying to stop that from happening. That's just I think really unlucky, just wrong place, wrong time for me. And then this is a scary view. Just rolling back to see cars flying towards you. It's a shame because I thought this was going to be a really good battle between us three here. If it wasn't for that slide there and the time lost, I probably would have got through here without there being any contact. Likewise with me reacting here. Trying to slow, give myself time, but if I kept my foot in, I might have again gotten through. Oh yeah, I can back it in pretty good though, don't worry. If anything, it's quite nice that the barrier ended there, because I would have gone into it and wiped out my rear wing. That was quite fortunate, but yeah, that was unfortunately our race. Not too much more we could have done with that. As mentioned, I might race Saturday evening if the wife lets me and I can find some time to do it. Let's take a look at the actual results and the points scored and all that stuff. I can't imagine it being too much. 246. And we lost ranking and we dropped down to silver 2. Which is a bit of a shame, but hey ho, it is what it is. I reckon we could have been P8 though. I think Moorhead was probably too far ahead to actually catch. Although they're closer than I thought they'd be. 8 seconds between Koval and Moorhead. So P7 may have potentially been on the cards if we did manage to get past Koval. Catch nicely, but yeah, tough. Tough race, tough break. Expected to finish 9th, yeah. 7 drivers of lower rank. Oof. Never mind. 1 split? No, there was... I don't know why I'm saying split 1 of 1. There was 3 splits. There definitely was. I remember seeing during the practice qualifying session 1 of 3. So yeah, so a fair few people did sign up to it, but hey ho, it is what it is. That is going to be it, ladies and gents, for this evening. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the live stream, and I hope you have yourselves a good rest of the week and a good weekend. As I say, I might do this again on Saturday. We shall see. Whether I stream it or not is going to be another thing. I might try and stream it if I can, but yeah. Either way, I'll try and let you guys know with a bit of advance notice as to whether that's happening or not. Until then, well, until the next one though, which will definitely be Monday. Have yourselves a good weekend. Look after yourselves. Thanks for watching. Take care.